What's up, everybody? It's Mike again, coming back at you with yet another video. If you're new to the channel, welcome. Today's topic I'd like to discuss is going to be about reactive abuse from the narcissist. If this content relates with you or you can resonate with it, please smash the thumbs up button, comment down your thoughts, opinions, and wisdom down below, your feedback, etc. And please subscribe. Thank you very much. It's much appreciated. So let's get into it. Now, let's start with what is reactive abuse. Reactive abuse is simply when the narcissist pushes you to that breaking point when you're in the devaluation stage. They want to push you to that breaking point wherein you can no longer tolerate the manipulative tactics that they implement. And, perhaps you were immersed in that golden period, but you now have figured them out. During that reactive abuse in question, you were gaslit, you were stonewalled, you were given the silent treatment, you were taken for granted, certain of that. And simply put, the narcissist wanted to hit you on a dead-end road with nowhere to go. You can either keep giving to a fault to the narcissist or live your own life. Be on about your life with the narcissist, whether they discarded you or you ended it on your terms, or both. But this is where reactive abuse kind of goes hand in hand with the reverse discard, because the reverse discard, just like the video I did last summer, is when the narcissist implements reactive abuse on you, thus ending the narcissistic relationship at hand. So reactive abuse kind of leads to, the reverse discard, because the narcissist's primary goal is to get you to that breaking point again, wherein you can no longer tolerate their manipulative mind tactics, aka the silent treatment, the stonewalling, the gaslighting, like I'm not ignoring you, I'm not cheating on you, blah blah blah, things like that, which you figured out quite easily that they weren't even true. If it smells like BS, if it looks like BS, it is BS. That's what I'd like to say. So why would the narcissist employ reactive abuse upon an individual in a relationship, no matter whether it's platonic or a romantic one or anything like that? It can even apply to a business one. Why would they trigger someone in such a way, like troll them in real life and make them seem as if they're not worthy as they are? Quite the contrary. The narcissist is really the one who is the dirt underneath the dirt. They're nothing. And that's how they'll become the aging narcissist in due time, but I digress. I made a whole video about that one. I suggest you check that out. But the reactive abuse, you can no longer handle it, and thus either A, you try to work it out with the narcissist, whether it was with therapy, talk on, one-on-one therapy, or couples therapy, psychological therapy, something like that. But the narcissist didn't want to work through any of it. They were resistant, aren't they? I know all too well. But this is probably what they did to you. They wasted your time, they wasted the therapist's time. They want the therapist to get on their side of things instead of being truthful and transparent and meeting you halfway. Well, I could have not reacted as I did, blah blah blah, but they'll never take accountability for anything, hence why they are the narcissists that they are. So reactive abuse is simply when the narcissist pushes you to the breaking point wherein you can't stand the manipulation, the abuse, whether it's emotional, mental, spiritual, even physical, certainly financial. They take you for a ride to the bank account. they take your bank account to the cleaners for sure. They can, and they will. So this is why a lot of people are going their own way nowadays. And rightfully so. I mean, who would stick around for such mistreatment if they can help themselves, if they can avoid it? That's the primary aim of the empath, is that you'll get over it. I hope that you are over it at this point. But if this is your first video, if you were just recently discarded by a narcissist, or maybe you broke up mutually or something along those lines, or I don't even know, something bad happened. All I do know is that, whether it's a month, I highly doubt it, if, you had really an attachment to this individual, this creature really, or whether it's 6 months, 12 months, 18 or 2 years, you'll get over it. I know with the spouse, it's a different situation because you're married. You went through the whole process of slipping the ring on and, doing your vows, claiming your vows and all that stuff. But, that's the last thing you want to do is marry a narcissist. This is why you must vet people properly. If you're open to the idea of, getting your feet wet back into the dating pool, then sure. But definitely avoid dating apps. Like, those are a narcissist's personal playground, along with social media as a whole. It really is a pity that, things aren't as organically the way that they were years and years ago, before we had all this smart technology and whatnot. But I digress. Wherein you could actually just go up to a person, give them a number, or vice versa. But you have to work with what you got. You can't categorize all people as just narcissists, willing and able out to get you, but you just gotta have your boundaries up high and mighty. Only surround yourselves with positive people who uplift you. They certainly wouldn't do anything to inappropriately make you feel terrible. If they really cared, if the narcissist really cared during that emotional, reactive, abusive stage wherein you were stuck in devaluation, you realized internally that there was no way out, and the narcissist knew this. In fact, this is what their aims were from the very first start. You simply wake up to it. And I don't suggest you call out the narcissist, but as I say before, you just simply sit down with them. And if they resist all the if they resist, how should I say, you're trying to mend the bridges that they broke and burnt down to no return. That's what I'm talking about. Then they aren't worth it, and you should move on with your life. They're not even worth worrying over. Take that. Like, they're not worth $1 in the world. No amount of money you pay me, or no amount of, future faking you impose or fakely promise will ever get me back, or at least you will not do any other people. Of course, having watched this video and others like it, but yeah, the narcissist wants to have you in the devaluation stage permanently until you want to, or you need to cut it off, which is what you do. You need to cut it off. If they haven't discarded you, they will. Perhaps you said something like, what's with the miscommunication here? I thought we were on the same page. And they might, link it to something like, major family drama or major life event, like moving, something like that. But when there's a will, there's a way for the narcissist. I'll tell you what. Okay, they will go out and, whether it's midnight or noon, if they really wanted to reciprocate, they would do so. They would not left you on red, and as they go out to the club or the bars and triangulate you with other men you've never met, stuff like that. Okay, so don't take the abuse. Don't be put in the devaluation stage. Go slow or go your own way. It's going the fast route is not an option anymore. Easier said than done these days, but I digress. So I hope this helps out a lot of video viewers out there. And I highly appreciate you guys, by the way, and whoever else. I don't take any of it for granted. Hope you all are doing well. If anyone is from the Florida area or the Southeast, my hearts go out to you, and hope that you make it through this. Change is like natural, organic. The narcissist should never have to implement anything wherein, they make that change. They leave you high and dry for dead, pretty much. They couldn't care less. Hence why you got to carve a new path for yourself. You got to push through those brushes and leaves and say no to the mistreatment, whatever you went through, however many times you've been through it, whether it was with a family member or romantic or partner or both. You've simply had it up to here, and now you're a lot more happier. You're much more introspective. Like I said, you've grown, you've healed, you've introspected. You are truthful and transparent. You respond, you don't react. But when you do respond, it's with indifference, it's with silence. If you can't go full no contact, it's really not worth, getting into relationships, whether it's short-term or long-term, with people who don't have your best interest at heart. In fact, I'm pointing out the fact that, if these people don't even mean well from the get-go, if they are not, let's put it this way, if they don't want any long-term goals with you, then they are not worth it. If they just want a situationship or something like that, or just another wallet or purse or an ATM or something like that, tell them to look elsewhere. But that's about all I have to say about the reactive abuse. Don't fall for it, people. Don't fall for it. And don't also fall for the reverse discard. If you can see the narcissist devaluing you by the day, simply end it as it is. You don't ruminate, but you do process things. Even if that means saying goodbye to who or what you thought was the love of your life, or one of them, or someone who meant something to you, either way, but in fact it wasn't. You have to deal with reality here. I know it's easier said than done, but I know you can do it. So anyway, that's about all I have to say here. I love you all. I appreciate it. God bless you. Take care, and goodbye.